When we come back, we got a dynamic interview, so I don't want you to go anywhere. We'll be right back after this, y'all. And we're back. And this is We Talk Weekly's After the Talk on WPPM-LP Philadelphia, 106.5 FM with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And the beautiful
Lily.
And we're definitely in the building. I'm excited about this interview, guys, because, when it comes to, people who are really doing things for the community, I mean, we like to have fun here on We Talk Weekly, right? Mm-hmm. But we are serious about our folks. We are serious about our neighborhoods. We are serious about how do we fix the L's that's happening in these, disenfranchised communities that are under-resourced. And when we talk about resources, there are groups that are putting in that work. So before we go anything, Lauren, no. How about Spark? Spark, give it to me early. Who we had today?
We have the Network Connect. Network Connect was developed with the mission of improving the coordination of youth-serving organizations. Both co-executive directors, Erin Hutt and Cierra Hipkins, focus on building effective partnerships for youth, families, communities, and organizations using community impact approaches. For over 5 years, Network Connect's founders have been working together to serve hundreds of youths in the community. Let's give a warm We Talk Weekly to the co-executive directors of Network Connect.
Yeah. How are you today? How are you doing, ladies?
Just excited to be here. How y'all doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for being here. We Talk Weekly. We really appreciate you. And, we wanted to just jump right into it because you guys are doing so much in the community. But before we get to, because I want to know how the Network Connect, how you guys created that. But before we get there, it started with you guys individually. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys were doing individually and how did you guys meet?
I'm gonna let Erin start. Go ahead, Erin.
Okay, so I guess it's kind of hard to figure out how we met. I guess we kind of met around 7-8 years ago. Both of us doing community work. Cierra had just came back. I'll let her tell it, but she had just came back from Baltimore to Wilmington. I had just started a nonprofit on my own, and I was looking for mentors to help with the youth. And from there, we kind of just like every time it was time to do some work in the community, I would just call Cierra like, what you doing this weekend? And she'd be like, what you want to do, Erin? I was like, let's go with the kids. And she'd be like, all right, let's go. So it kind of just started like that. And then it eventually evolved into an organization, Network Connect, in 2019. And we created it together, building something for our city of Wilmington. It was important for us to be able to create something with a strong foundation, but also something that the kids can look up to, knowing that we came from the same communities that we served. So both of us we're both HBCU alum. I'm from the Delaware State University, of course. And I think that it's important that we continuously give back to our HBCU. So all of these core components that we have individually, we put together into this organization to do some great things in the state of Delaware.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
What about you, Cierra?
Yeah, I just echo what she said. I think we started both of us worked in different capacities in the community. social work, counseling, and we started just doing all one-off things in the community we knew that were needs, and then eventually we built a program that we piloted, um, and it just blew from there. Like she said, we grew Network Connect. When I came back, I'm from Wilmington, and I moved away. I went to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Okay.
And when I moved into Baltimore, I worked in the community there as well. I wanted to come home and kind of bring my talents back, knowing that what was going on in Wilmington. And Erin was in the city hustling and working, and we just really complemented each other's skill set and ability. And then we both have sons, and her passion meets my passion because, we're raising Black boys. And we want to, have a community that we feel comfortable sending them into. And we know both, I really admire the fact, we both say all the time, we're all connected. That's where the name comes from. And we know that our son's future only relies on the way that a community around them feels and operates. And we know that it needs a little work here. So we are rolling up our sleeves and getting the work done.
Wow. You guys mentioned that you have boys, both boys, and I'm sure you caught the beginning of our show, and we were talking a lot about some of the violence that's happening in the city here in Philadelphia, and I'm sure it's likewise over there in Delaware. So what, before we dig a little deeper into you guys, what are your thoughts on how to fix or remedy some of these issues that we're having as it relates to violence?
I think that it stems back to systematic oppression. If we really dig deep into it, it's not about our kids are like, especially Black boys, but Black boys and Black girls are some of the most resilient, intelligent, creative beings on this earth. And I think that even if they was given an even playing field, they would excel so much more. But the system is created for them to not be able to excel. They can only get but so far. But that's why you have to have leaders in a community that are willing to break ceilings so that our kids can go 10 times further than us. If it wasn't for the people and a lot of the women in Wilmington that have done great work to get us this far, it would be no way Cierra and I was able to do the work that we've done. And I think that the work that we're done is going to some of those barriers and allow kids to be able to excel. And I think that, a lot of it comes from the poverty that goes on in our cities and the lack. If we don't have anything and you're not giving us anything, or you're only giving us enough to keep us in this area, then what else can we do? And everybody knows crabs in a barrel, but crabs don't belong in a barrel. So that's why it's going to continue to be that way until we're able to create our own spaces, and these safe spaces for our kids, their families, and everybody.
Yeah. And I see you over there shaking your head. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, how much are you, feeling that, everything that she's saying is accurate? What are your experience as it relates to this?
I mean, yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like Erin said, the breaking the glass ceiling, that's been our goal. And we, you said it when you introduced us, the collective impact approach. The reason why we believe in that is because we know that we have to rebuild systems. Systems were built without our sons and our kids that we serve every day in mind. And we are striving to rebuild the system so that our babies are included. And so it's hard work, and we see it every day in different capacities. And so we choose to focus on well-being and connection and restorative services, and making sure that the people who are responsible and receiving funds and dollars for our people are not benefiting off our pain, but making sure that they roll up their sleeves and they cooperate and work with us as well. And, we believe that you have to put the work in, but we also want to hold people accountable for the things that are going on in our community, as well as hold ourselves accountable. And that's why we join in. It's a collaborative effort. And I just think, like Erin said, the systematic oppression, we can't reverse it. People want to ignore it. It causes, the ignoring is what's causing the problems in our community. And it's time to get to work.
You're speaking the truth. Absolutely. I want to just say to both of you, thank you. Thank you for making a difference, because we have a lot of people who, they sit in their chairs wherever they are, and they're like, "Oh, well, look at this city, but what are you doing? What are you doing to make a change?" Can you take us on a journey of when, the youth gets involved with Network Connect? Like, what are some of the things that you offer that makes changes? Like, we know, reading the bio and stuff, but take us through that.
I think that we have a lot of programs. I think a lot of the times people look at Network Connect as just Cierra and myself. We are on the fifth cohort of hiring teenagers. Our teenagers, we call them the future culture creators. So we hire teenagers. We have a group of about 22 right now that are 14 to 17 that live in the state of Delaware. Um, we also have a race program. We have a community well-being ambassador program. We have several initiatives that take place, and with the support of I don't even know, Cierra probably knows better than me how many community well-being ambassadors do we have. I think we have like 23 ambassadors that work for us, as well as this team. So that right there is a whole community of people that have been trained, that are able to go out into the community to spread the efforts. Because the thing is that we know, as people, we can't do it by ourselves. We have to be able to build the capacity of organizations and be able to train our people to go out in the community and get the work done. And every single day, the amount of work that is done could not be done if it was just Cierra and myself. Like, it would have to be all of us in order to get this work done. And we're continuously growing, and it's just a blessing to be able to do the work that we do, especially in our hometown. But it's even more like big blessing. It's even more of a blessing to be able to hire 20 adults and pay them livable wage and give them health insurance during the pandemic, in the middle of a pandemic.
Speaking, yeah.
Especially being two young Black women, like, it's really not heard of. But a lot of the work that we do is really not heard of, so it kind of goes with it.
Oh, no doubt. You have Kia said, "Let's work." She said, "Man, I'm hearing
Yeah.
everything you said. Let's work." Portia said, "Amen." No doubt. Shout out to Portia. What do you say to people? And I just want to back up a little bit, because I love the idea that we are highlighting, our Blackness, right? And being specific to some of the issues you mentioned, systemic racism. What do you say to those who may not look like us, and will say, "Well, why does everything have to be about color? Why is it so quick for people, or Black people?" Because this is some of the conversations that happen, and we pride ourselves in uncomfortable conversations. That's the only way we can make things happen, right? But what do you say to those who push back a little bit and say, "Well, why does it have to be about this? Why can't it be about all? I don't see color." What do you say to people like that?
Open up your mind. I think, like we say, we are all connected, and we have to play a part in the fixing of our communities together. So we welcome them. I don't think it's about race. I think it's about accountability and acknowledging our history here on this land. And I think if we all play a part in that, we all have a role. We have to identify our own unconscious and self-conscious biases and how those roles present to our communities. And I think we serve African American, white, Hispanic. I mean, we serve people in need. We serve high need communities. We choose to focus our curriculums and our teaching on African American culture because that is where we come from and that is what we know best. And it's a need because it's not always happening in our schools. And so, but each community needs to learn that history because it's all connected. That you can't say you're diverse and only want to teach one thing or only want to put dollars or resources behind one part of this country we live in. And so it's uncomfortable because we don't acknowledge the pain. We don't acknowledge our parts in those things, in these systems, but we choose to bring it to the forefront with love and care. Like we are in the community making sure that we serve the people in need. It's not always about, whether you're Black or brown, but we also have to acknowledge that the reason why the peoples next to us are struggling the way they are is because the systems gathered them up, trying to gather us up as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we are talking to Cierra Hall Hipkins and Erin Hutt of Network Connect. And just a quick little, shameless plug. If you are watching, we need your help. We need your deposits. We need your funds. We need you to support We Talk Weekly. You can cash app us at $ We Talk Weekly, because this is how we continue to bring experience, continue to bring information like this to you, to the world. We're international. I mean, we got people listening in Africa and Europe and the UK, Paris. We have people listening everywhere. And in order for us to continue to do this and bring you quality content, we need you to make sure that you support us. You can cash app us at $ We Talk Weekly. We're here at our home, Creative Media Studios. So shout out to Creative Media Studios. Now back to you guys. For those who are listening, can you just explain in detail what is your organization? What is it? And, how do you facilitate the network and support with the youth?
So I'm going to start. First, the first thing we did was we built an infrastructure of resources, meaning that we went out to other organizations and we made connections with them, and we took them into our communities. We started, and shout out to Riverside. We started in Riverside and Wilmington, and we took our resources, we trained them up on cultural competency, how to serve our youth and their families. And we took them in and provided programming to the kids that usually don't have those types of programmings in the hours that are so abandoned in services, the after school hours in our city at that time. And so building the resources of different organizations, I would shout them all out, but there are hundreds now, so I don't want to miss anybody. And then we went into really building a structure of a strategic plan of what we thought Wilmington needed, based on our skill set. And so we started opening those programs that Erin spoke about earlier. The Future Culture Creators was our flagship. That's the workforce development program where we employ teens and teach them about workforce development, hard and soft skills, design thinking, but also we call it Black survival. We teach them about African-American survival in the workforce and what they're going to be presented with when they enter this workforce. And then we launched the Race to Wellness campaign, which is our campaign to really combat adverse childhood experiences. We know the CDC tells us that there are 7 different remedies in our communities that we can attack collectively, and we can change the way children are experiencing different traumas and how it relates to their body and the science that makes up our brain. And so we focused in on that by providing and informing the community with race kits. So we put coping skills in a box and we sent them out. We've given away almost over 900, something like that, across the state. And then we know we needed to get deeper because we served kids in FCC, Future Culture Creators, that didn't have many supports at all. And so we were trying to duplicate ourselves, create disciples, right? And we came up with the Community Wellbeing Ambassadors, along with a group of 7 other amazing organizations. The University of Delaware is one of the main supporters of this initiative. And those ambassadors are trained in over 100 hours in Stop the Bleed, Narcan training, skills for psychological recovery, and they go out and do what we call 21st century community service, where they are following people and holding their hands, connecting on resources, but also building their well-being and skill set. And so in that work, we have established this ecosystem of companies and organizations, people with social capital, and the community, and we are all working together to fix what we know we can fix here in our state.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, wow. They're saying Network Connect is changing the game in Delaware. Proud of y'all. They're
Wow.
absolutely proud of you. Guys are watching, and thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We Talk Weekly. We're everywhere. If you're not there, you're a square, because this is where the cool people hang out. This is what we always say. But I'm interested in knowing, because one of the highlights that you guys have is connecting with over I believe it was like 300 youth delivering the race kits. Can you explain what a race kit is and how important is that for the development of our youth?
We're definitely at over 1,000 right now.
Oh wow!
We're at
Wow.
1,000 kits right now. We have a event on Monday for Dr. Martin Luther King Day, so we plan on giving out 100 kits there as well. But like Cierra said, it's literally, I wish I had a race kit with me. It's literally like a subscription box. Like, I know ladies use like the curl box, or there's like shave box, and there's different subscription boxes that you can subscribe to that come to your house every month. That's pretty much the basis of, where it came from. But instead of just these different supplies, the idea was to focus on mental health supplies and coping skills and tools that they can use every day in their house. I think a lot of the times, like, as we try to break down the stigma of mental health in the Black community, and we have more Black professionals in that industry, we start to understand certain things that have been said to us, everybody doesn't necessarily have in their home. Like, some people will just tell you, you can go take a walk if you're stressed, but everybody can't just go outside and take a walk in their community. Everybody can't just lay in the grass in their community. So we wanted to be able to provide them different things each month, so that they have them in their home in a safe space. So they include things like journals. We get our teens to write affirmations to the students. So you're getting affirmations from other kids. You're getting a mirror, so you can look in the mirror at yourself and read it. We partnered up with the Soul Firm, and we got them to create a bookmark, and they created some other supplies that go in there from local artists in Wilmington. But the goal is to really just have like a kit of tools that you can have. That's a cute little box. You could tuck it under your bed. It's yours. It has your journals. It has journal prompts in there. It teaches you about ACEs and all of those things. But it's important that that I feel like every kid needs it.
That's amazing. You got to send one over here so we can actually check it
I
out.
gotta get your one. I gotta get your one.
Yeah, that's what they all say. They said you was going to say that.
We're definitely going to send y'all one. We're going to send y'all a few.
I just want to make a comment too, y'all. It's like y'all are the mothers to the motherless, the father to the fatherless, the parent to the parentless. It's so many kids that go through trauma. Like even what we were talking about with the carjacking in Philadelphia. These are younger kids, 13, 14, and then they're being put in jail, which is another form of trauma. And they're only basically acting out of things that they don't have. The start that they weren't given. And these type of organizations are something that is just like it's a start to what we're looking for. To they're saying, oh, we need crime prevention. This is where it starts. And it starts in the cerebral. It starts mental. It's psychological.
Yes,
So,
the science.
Wow.
Yeah, it definitely is a science. You guys are definitely on top of it, and I salute you guys. And what have you guys? Because one of the things that organization, are you a 501c3?
Absolutely.
Okay. One of the things that organizations always has challenges with is fundraising and having the funds to do what's necessary. What type of challenges have y'all experienced? And if this was a call to support and donate to your organization, what would that pitch be?
You want the correct answer, or you want like the other answer?
Let me put a caveat.
The real one.
Let me start, and I'll be quick so she can go. We started from nothing. We started from the muscle, and that I have to say that because we are a large organization and we've hustled to be, I hate to say this in public, but a multi-million-dollar one. And so we hustled to get there. But, it's always the support that we receive is a lot different because we're still considered a grassroots organization. We're still two African-American women running an organization in a field that does not look like us. Yeah. And so I'll let Erin finish.
I just think that when God gives you a task, like he puts you on this earth to do something, regardless of whether it is you want to do it or not, he's always going to make a way. And I know we keep talking about Black and brown people, but that's what we do all day, because that's who we are, and that's who we love, and that's who we help. But at the end of the day, we've always done more with less. Always. So even when we got our first contract, we was making moves like we had millions of dollars and we didn't. You know, like we come up with stuff, and we tell our community. Our community, like Wilmington, Delaware, has our back like no other.
Shout out to Wilmington.
It's insane the way Wilmington supports us. Like, we'll just say randomly, like on social media, like, I wanna take the kids here. Somebody will DM me, I got 50 tickets, take the kids to the Sixers game. Okay, sign me up. It's always been like that. And it's relationships, but it's also the integrity that Cierra and I have. I think it's also our passion. But our city rocks out with us. Like, anything that we ever needed when it came to building space, we got 2 offices now. People just open door. We pay rent. Don't get it wrong. We do pay rent. But we was looking. People did come to us, and they were able to open doors for us. Even like with our event on Monday, we weren't able to do it in our office. We need a little bigger space. Our neighbors opened the doors to us and was like, do your event here. It's cool with me. So it's always been like, I know people ask us about the obstacles, but I feel like when you're doing God's work, ain't no obstacles. Like, the money's always gonna come. We always gonna help our people. Give me a pack of pasta. We're gonna feed everybody. It don't even matter. Somebody's gonna bring the meat. Somebody's gonna bring the sauce. It don't matter. That's how we're gonna work. So with or without anybody's funding, we're always gonna get it done. But it's nice when we got it though.
I know that's right.
It's really nice when the money comes through. So
I will say,
corporately,
we are starting to get supported in a way that we've never been before. So that's nice. Yes. But like Erin said, we used to getting it from the muscle. And so we make it work. And we set goals, and we wait for the purpose to ring in, and we just work. Let's work. Somebody put let's work in there. They know our slogan.
I know that's right. This is what we do. We about that.
Y'all got these comments
about that. I know. We got a couple comments. We got said everybody shouting y'all out. Go ahead. Holla at me, Spark.
All right. You have Soletta Hall. She said the start the parents now need who did not get it coming up. Never too late to restart.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Good. Portia Lynette said, preach. Shout out to Portia. All right. Rashim says, absolutely. Yes, they did. Started from the ground to building their empire. Rashima. And then Darlene said, yes, affirmations really help for sure. Yes. Let's work.
Rashima. Rashima helped us out a lot.
Yeah, she was there from the beginning. That's A1.
She helped us out, but that's like part of our community. Like, people always look out for us, and we appreciate Rashima.
And that's the part that we love, because, you know, in Philly, they always be like, Philly support Philly. Like, when you're in the community and you're community driven, you're supposed to, you know, send the elevator or reach out and help. And that's the way that you're supposed to, you know, build up your community.
Absolutely.
You know, before we let you guys go, you know, that time went that fast, just that quick. We got to talk about something special that's happening on Monday. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. You know, Martin Luther King. Tell me about this day and this day of service and all of the things that you're doing.
So we traditionally do a race day. A race day is pretty much a day where we give out the race kits. And we bring in some people to do like some food and do some, we'll have some music, we'll give out clothes and things. We wanted to expand it because a lot of times Dr. King's Day it's January, so it's freezing. We kind of wanted to move it inside and being able to provide people donations with dignity. I think a lot of the times when people give donations, like, it comes from the heart, but sometimes the wrapping is important. So giving people, you know, brand new coats in a trash bag is still not the same feel. So we wanted to create a space for them, almost like a boutique where they can come in. Some of the staff at Network Connect will be there, and they'll serve as personal shoppers that helps kids pick out their coats. United Way is partner with us, so they'll be providing some take-home tests. We worked with Operation Warm to provide coats. United Way is also bringing some free books to give out. We've been collecting. We have a hygiene closet and a clothing closet and school supply closet in our King Street office. So we'll be bringing those things out because a lot of the times throughout the school year, the kids don't have school supplies after October. So we want to make sure that they're getting all those things, but we want them to have the experience of being able to go and pick the things out and not just, this is what you get.
Yeah, and the history of the free store is so important too. Like this is not something Erin and I made up. We are going to take it to all our communities in need. But the history of the free store is, just what Erin said, the dignity of being able to come and get stuff from the people that love you, your community, and not feeling like you're lower than or less than.
Wow. People are loving you guys tonight. They're loving you guys tonight. They're sharing, they're commenting, and kudos to you ladies. Is this something that that you would like to say if it was, a young mother out there that are raising boys just like you guys? What would you say to them to empower and inspire them to, keep pushing and supporting a gentleman? I have a space in my heart for the men, the black men, especially the boys, because they look like me. And oftentimes we get a bad rap. Even when we talk about law enforcement, they don't even call kids anymore. They call them men. And that plays a lot, especially when it's time to go to court and, they're looking at the jury and they're being considered, oh, these are grown men doing these things. And they're actually children. Their brain is not even developed yet, But, what would you say to that young mother who may experience some challenges and would like to, get the word to, their sons, get them out there, get them, the support and motivate them to succeed?
Let's start. So, I raised my son and we do in our work. We love, and love sometimes means love on them first, right? And love sometimes means discipline. Love sometimes means honesty. But everything we do it with love. And that means that we're not giving up. We're reaching out and we're making sure we're connecting to people who can serve and help us in our areas of need, our growth areas. But the outside world is not going to love on our boys or girls the way we are. And we sometimes forget that and send them out to other people to get the love that they're searching for. Y'all talked about earlier that carjacking. Those babies are surviving. They searching for connection, which is another form of love. They're searching for, making sure they can feed themselves. So if we're talking about the well-being of our people, our mommies, I just say, you got to take care of yourself first. Yes. And then you serve your babies with love and discipline and time and trauma connection and all of those things. You get the services you need and you reach out to the people who can help you.
Fantastic.
Wow. Amen.
I would say fight for your kids. A lot of times, if we don't understand the systems, people say stuff to you to get you tripped up. And sometimes we give up. And you got to fight for if nobody else is going to fight for your kids, you got to fight for your kids like no other. You got to read, you got to study, you got to understand some things. And if you can't understand it, you got to build a village around yourself and your child and your children to make sure a village of trusting adults. You got to be very, very selective about your village for your child. But when you build that stable village and you have that support around your child, and you're able to fight for your child, you got other people to fight for your child. I don't care if it's with the courts, if it's with school, if it's with basketball, it doesn't matter. With their grades, these schools, you have to be on top of it constantly. If you're unable to be a presence in the school, you need to make sure you got about 2-3 other people that's backups that can go in them schools to make sure that you're a presence. And always look out for yours and make sure you're looking out for everybody else's, because they're going to look out for your child and you look out for everybody else's children.
That's right. You ain't never lied about that one right there. The one thing I always say, listen, if we don't tell our own story, somebody else will. They'll create a narrative for us, something that we don't even agree with, but we're so quiet, or we don't have platforms like ours to be able to bring, organizations like yourself so you can talk to the community and actually tell your narrative, tell the things that people are dying to know or need to know, and talk about different, initiatives that you have going on. Celeste said, amen. Darlene said, everyone has a gift.
That's right.
Sure do. So before we guys let you guys go, why don't you tell everyone how they can get in contact with you, talk a little bit about Monday again. And it's this Monday. Today is the 15th, January 15th, because sometimes people will see the show later on and be like, yo, what? Today is January 15th, and the event is when?
January 17th. Monday
17th. It is Monday. So tell everybody how they can find the event, how they can get back in contact with you guys.
The event will be at 1226 North King Street in Wilmington, Delaware, from 10 to 2. I would say get there early. We do have over 200 kids' coats and sneakers and clothes to give away. We have books, all those things. But I would say it's first come, first serve. So I would say get there early. Check out our Instagram and our Facebook. They're both Network Connect Inc. To stay up to date with us. And our website is www.networkconnect.org.
Shout out to Celeste. She said, I am very proud of you both. Ladies and gentlemen, or however you identify, you are watching We Talk Weekly after the talk on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weekly here at our new home, Creative Media Studio. Somebody is giving you a round of applause. So I like to say thank you for coming to the show. And listen, one thing that we always say is once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show. So you're always welcome back. So we really appreciate everything. Great job, ladies, as everyone is saying. And just reach out to us. You feel like We Talk Weekly can help you out. You ever need a platform, we're here for you. We love the work that you're doing. William said he's very proud of you both. Look, I'm trying to get off the show, and people still like, yo, no, I need for y'all to know we proud of you. So everybody who's watching, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow our YouTube channel. Make sure y'all tune in, press that little button so you know anytime that we go live like this, and we always have beautiful people from the community that are doing things, because again, the reason why we created this is because we want the people that's already in these streets, already doing these things, to tell their narratives. We don't want anybody just kind of, bobbing and weaving, talking about, they helping the community that don't even look like us, right? We want people who are really doing this stuff to be able to have and create their own narratives and say what is going on within these communities, because we in these streets, we love our people, and we will continue to do what we do. So again, I appreciate you ladies for tuning in to We Talk Weekly. Is there anything you would like to say to us before we leave?
We're gonna send y'all some race kits.
Yes,
right. Hey.
Yeah, we definitely need that. And anytime y'all have something going on, you give us some time. We coming up. We make sure that we support. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Hey, this is Roxanne Shante, and your week cannot be complete unless you listen to or watch We Talk Weekly. Please believe it, baby.